the Court Reporters Board. Appreciate everyone's patience with our technical difficulties. Always a joy to work with technology. With that, I have a few housekeeping matters to share before I call the meeting to order, beginning with a reminder to everyone that this meeting is being recorded and accessible via WebEx. Today's meeting will run in accordance with the Open Meeting Act as required by law. I would request that everyone turns their cell phones to silent. You may notice board members accessing their laptops, phones, or other devices during this meeting. They are using the devices solely to access the board meeting materials that are in electronic format. The board welcomes public comment on any item on the agenda, and it is the board's intent to ask for public comment prior to the board taking any action on an agenda item. If for some reason I forget to ask for public comment on an agenda item and you wish to speak on that item, please raise your hand either virtually or here in the room, and I will recognize you. To better assist the board in accurately transcribing the minutes of the meeting, members of the public who make a comment may be asked to disclose their name and association. However, disclosure of that information is not required by law and is purely voluntary. I want to remind all speakers to please stay on topic and keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. If you agree with a prior speaker, please state that rather than repeating the comments. Moderator, would you please explain the WebEx public comment procedure? I believe we'll just have to watch for the captioning, right?
All right, this is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. When we get to public comment, you'll click that raised hand icon in order to request a public comment. If you're an audio-only participant, you can press *3 on your device. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak with a 30-second warning, and at the end of the time, your microphone will be muted. And we will move on to the next individual who has requested public comment. I believe that is all the instructions that I have.
Fantastic. Thank you. Oh. Okay. All right. With that, I would like to call the meeting to order and ask that Ms. Bruning please call the roll.
Thank you. Member Tagade?
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Dodgenham is absent. Member Gonzalez, please.
Here.
Member Manayan?
Here.
Member Saltonstall? Thank you. Quorum reached.
Thank you. Actually, okay, we'll move right along to agenda item 1, public comment for items not on the agenda. Before we invite speakers to begin, I would ask individuals making comments to not discuss pending complaints, pending applications, or pending disciplinary actions that may come before the board for a decision. Such discussions are considered ex parte communications, as they could provide information to the board members that is outside of the record, which is in violation of the Administrative Procedure Act. Therefore, such discussions could create a conflict and lead to a board decision being challenged in Superior Court. The board can receive comments regarding the board's processes in general, but it cannot receive comments on specific case circumstances where the decision is still pending. Board staff is available to speak with you about any pending matter. In addition, the board would ask that the public address the board as a whole and not individual board members. Please be aware that public comment during this agenda item should provide information to the board members and is not a discussion between the board members and the public. The only action board members can take is to listen to comments and decide whether they want a future agenda item on the topic. No other action can be taken on the item at this meeting. Though this may seem at times like the board members are not being responsive, following these guidelines is critical to ensure the rules of the Open Meeting Act are followed to avoid compromising the speaker's goals or the board's mission. With that, is there anyone wishing to offer public comment? We will take comments from those attending in person, followed by those attending via WebEx. And please feel free to step up to the.
Agenda.
Yeah.
Hello. This is my first time making a comment, so
Forgive me if I make a mistake. My name is Cindy Vega, President of Deposition Reporters Association of California. We have had quite a few comments and complaints from attorneys and judges about some reporters not being ready for the job, I will say. Voice writers in particular, and I'm not casting aspersions on voice writers, but we feel that might have to do, for one, with reciprocity, but they do not have to have apprenticeship hours as a brand new reporter. The reporters that are taking the test in California that are going to traditional steno schools as a requirement to have apprenticeship hours. And I don't know the exact amount, but others are not required. And I think that is super helpful to begin the job in our field, as it is a different, every day is a different situation. So we have had some complaints about some people are saying, I don't want that voice writer to come back because they weren't up to par and they didn't know what they were doing. So I think apprenticeship hours is very important for brand new CSRs, all of them. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Ms. Vega. Any other public comment in the room?
Hello, my name is Austin McDaniel. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of McDaniel Reporting in San Luis Obispo, California. And I wanted to bring up the Filevine. I would like to bring up Filevine. I wanted to bring up Filevine in light of its recent acquisition of an official license number. And I would implore this board to make that topic its own line item discussion at a future meeting. I'm concerned about whether or not Filevine can, I'm concerned on whether or not Filevine can, or specifically the reporter in charge, can follow CCP 2025-320 Section A and Title 16 of the CCP 2474, both regarding the testimony should be taken stenographically, as well as the CSR may not certify any transcript that they did not personally take down. Based on my observations from Filevine's website, they are open and adamant about digital reporting in the process of producing a transcript. And I believe that that's something that this board and the whole profession should be made aware of. And again, I implore this board to make that a specific line item for its own discussion at a future meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment in the room? Okay, seeing none, we will move moderator to public comment over WebEx, please. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. Do we need to reestablish quorum? Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll add for the record that Mr. Dodgenham has joined us on the dais. Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a comment for items not on the agenda, please click that raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can press *3 on your device. And I do have a couple requests. First, I have Lindsay Stoker. Lindsay, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device. All right, and this is the moderator, Lindsay. You're currently still muted. I'm going to request to unmute you. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
There we go. Now you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. My name is Lindsay Stoker. My CSR number is 14373, and I am the reporter in charge with Filevine. And I am just here to introduce myself and make the following statement that we are new to the market, and we are currently working extensively with California certified stenographic and voice reporters. All testimony that will be taken in the state of California will be taken via steno or voice only. all transcripts taken by Filevine will be taken down personally by either stenographic or voice recording means in compliance with all California policies and procedures. We will have a webinar on Monday to further discuss our plans and to roll out our operations and to answer any questions anybody may have. I know that there have been many questions and defamatory statements written about us. However, we will follow all applicable laws as outlined and as mandated by the CRB. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Next, I have Mary E. Pierce. And Mary, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device. All right, this is the moderator, Mary. It appears you are still muted. I'm going to request to unmute your microphone again. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Okay, I think we're good now.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me speak. Mary Pierce, CSR 6143 in the state of California. And I want to welcome and thank Allison Saltonstall and Heather Lynn Gonzalez for taking on their new roles as licensee members of the Court Reporters Board. And just thank you so much for your service. I know it's not easy to put yourselves out there like that. And thank you in advance for what I expect to be exemplary service.
Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Next, I have Dora Enriquez. And Dora, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, just want to double check. Hello, I am Dora Enriquez, CSR number 12210, serving as the second court reporter in charge for Filevine. And I'd like to make the following statement for the record. Filevine has not taken a single deposition to date. Filevine is currently working exclusively with California Certified Shorthand Reporters.
Commenter, I'm gonna stop you right here. This is legal. Moderator, if you could mute the mic if that's not, if the commenter continues. I'm getting a little concerned about the back and forth, and it appears, I'll leave this up to the executive officer, but it may be something that the investigation unit may need to discuss. But this particular topic is for comments to the board and not necessarily a back and forth or discussion or anything like that. So I'm going to need to ask that this commenter provide a comment to the board that can assist the board, but not discuss anything that may relate to investigation or anything of a more specific topic. This meeting is a public meeting and is designed for the public as a whole.
All right, this is the moderator. Appears there are no further requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, thank you to our commenters. Board will take that under advisement. We will move on to agenda item number 2. All right, well, we have, as Ms. Pierce mentioned, 2 new licensed board members to welcome. First, we have Heather Lynn Gonzalez of Los Angeles, who was appointed by Governor Newsom. She has been a certified shorthand reporter since 2011 and is a member of the California Deposition Reporters Association since 2011. There we go. And is a member of, She earned a Bachelor of Arts in Theater Arts and Communication, Music Composition and Theory from Whittier College. She is a familiar face to board staff who have been working with her in many capacities, including acting as one of our readers for the skills exam. And so welcome, Ms. Gonzalez. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have Allison Saltonstall of Citrus Heights, who has also been appointed by Governor Newsom. She has been an official court reporter for Sacramento Superior Courts since 2017. She has served on the United Public Employees Union Board for 6 years, representing the Court Reporters Unit, and is currently the president of Sacramento Official Court Reporters Association. Welcome, Ms. Saltonstall. Thank you. With that, I don't need to take for that, did I? Yes. Okay. All right. With that, we will look to public comment in the room.
I'm Cindy Tuchel with the California Reporters Association. I just wanted to say welcome and thank you, and we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comment in the room? Thank you.
Say my name each time.
For the record, thank you.
Cindy Vega, President, Deposition Reporters Association of California. I also want to thank Allison and Heather Lynn for their service on the board. It is a big, big job, and all the reporters, I believe in California, really appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
Any other comment in the room? Seeing none, we will go to WebEx, please.
All right, this is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment for agenda item 2, please click that raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. I'll pause a moment to allow the public time to access these features and submit their requests. And as a reminder, this is for agenda item 2. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, moderator. With that, we will move to agenda item 3, resolutions for outgoing board members. We would like to recognize the hard work of our 2 outgoing board members. First, I would offer the following resolution for Robin Sunkeys. Whereas Robin Sunkeys has faithfully and devotedly served as a member of the Court Reporters Board from November 14, 2019 through July 2nd, 2025. And whereas she served as chair from November 19, 2020 to September 1, 2023. And she served as co-chair of the License Reciprocity Task Force, co-chair of the Curriculum Task Force, and co-chair of the Best Practice Pointers Task Force. And whereas she was integral in developing the 2024 to 2028 board strategic plan, provided direction on reaching the board's goals, and contributed significantly to the skills examination bank. And whereas Robin Sunkeys has more than 35 years of professional experience as a certified shorthand reporter, having served the community as a court reporting official in San Diego and Maricopa counties. And whereas she has served in many leadership and supportive roles in industry associations, chairing committees for the National Court Reporters Professional Association, and was awarded their distinction of Fellow of the Academy of Professional Reporters, and served as president of the California Court Reporters Association, and received their Distinguished Service Award in 2018. And whereas throughout her years of service, at all times, Robin Sunkeys gave fully of herself and her ideas, and acted forthrightly and conscientiously, always with the public interest and welfare in mind. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of the Court Reporters Board express heartfelt appreciation to Robin Sunkeys for the outstanding contribution she made during her years of service on the Court Reporters Board and to the consumers of California. Is there any discussion from our board members?
This is Mike Dodge. I'd just like to add that for both, for Robin in particular, when I came on board as a new board member 2 years ago, Robin was incredibly welcoming and really helped set the standard for me. I saw how hard she worked, how incredibly diligent she was and dedicated in all of her contributions to the board and, ultimately to the people of California. So set a great shining example. And on a personal note, she was always just an absolute pleasure and warm to work with. So, so I wholeheartedly endorse this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. Mr. Manayan.
I'd like to echo Board Member Dodgenham's statements and just say that, Robin really helped me get my feet off the ground and understand the true meaning of serving on this board. And she's really a treasure to the court reporting community, and she will be sorely missed. So couldn't have said it better than you did, Board Member Nunn.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? If not, I will take the privilege to say a hearty and full thank you, Robin, for everything you've done, really getting me also up to speed when I first joined the board several years ago, and just being such a wonderful sounding board, so dedicated, as you heard in the resolution, just how much work and leadership you've put into the court reporting profession is just outstanding. And it's been such a joy to work with you. And, I hope you'll stay in touch with all of us. With that, yes.
I just want to jump in and say that it's been a real privilege to have served as the EO with Robin Sunkees as a board member. I first met Robin when I had the honor to serve with her on the board of the California Court Reporters Association more years ago than I care to count. That's where I came to respect her passion for the industry and her commitment to getting things done. As CRB board chair, she was incredibly responsive to board staff. In fact, she was often my source of industry news before I heard it from anywhere else. That very passion for the industry carried over to her concern for the California consumer during her time on this board. Robin, you have accomplished so much during your tenure that you can leave with your head held high, knowing that you have left a legacy from registration of court reporting firms to licensing voice writers, just to name a few. Congratulations, and thank you for all your hard work.
Okay, with that, we will take public comment in the room.
I'm Cindy Tischel with California Court Reporters Association. I just want to echo all the comments in the resolution, all the comments that the board members make, and we have appreciated everything Robin has done for court users, consumers, reporters, and all the justice partners. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. Any other public comment in the room?
Cindy Vega, freelance California Deposition Reporters Association president. I also would like to thank Robin, and she is a friend of mine, and I know she's done an excellent job, and we can't say enough about her. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment in the room? Seeing none, we will go to WebEx, please.
All right, this is a moderator. I have both Robin Sunkees and Laura Brewer on the WebEx. If they would like to make their comments first, they can go ahead and unmute themselves.
They should take public comment first.
Okay, sounds like we're going to take Robin first. So
Oh,
Robin.
moderator, actually, can we take public comment
Sure.
first and then Ms. Brewer and then Ms. Sunkees?
Yeah, That sounds good. All right. In that case, for our members of the public on WebEx, if you would like to make a comment for this item, please click that raise hand icon. Or if you're an audio only participant, you can press *3 on your device. And as a reminder, this is for agenda item 3. First, I have Michelle Caldwell. And Michelle, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak with a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Good morning. Michelle Caldwell, President, California Court Reporters Association. I just wanted to thank you, Robin, for the years that you've put in, not only with the board, but for the profession as a whole. And I have a feeling you're not even close to being done yet. So we'll be in touch. Thank you.
All right. This is a moderator. Next, I have Mary E. Pierce. And Mary, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Good morning. Thank you again. I'm just going to jump the gun and be a little efficient, hopefully. And thank both Robin Sunkeys and Laura Brewer for exemplary service for many years. And I had the privilege of working with both of them as a member of the Best Practices Task Force. These are exceptional women, exceptional professionals who, Allison, Heather Lynn, you guys have some big, really classy shoes to fill. And I wish you the best. I know you both will meet that bar. And but Laura, Robin, thank you both for all your years of knowledge, experience, and professional representation of licensees across the state. Thank you.
All right. This is the moderator. Next, I have Anna Costa. Anna, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device. And this is the moderator. Anna, you are still muted. I'm going to request to unmute your microphone again. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Okay, this is Anna Costa, a retired ESR and RPR in California and West Valley instructor. I want to say that what Mary said was beautiful, and I add on to that. It was an absolute pleasure to work with Mary and Brooke Ryan and with Laura and Robin as chairs of the task force reviewing the best practice pointers. I'm very proud of the work that they did and to be a part of it. And I had the pleasure of meeting Robin in person for the first time at the CCRI convention. Forward to staying in touch and hearing more about their future endeavors. Thank you so much.
All right, this is the moderator. Appears there are no further requests for public comment on WebEx.
Thank you so much, moderator. And actually I misspoke. We will take Miss Sunkeys after our board vote, if that's all right. Thank you. So with that, do I have a motion to adopt this important resolution? Mr. Dodgenam.
I move that we adopt this resolution in recognition of all of Robin Sunkeys' contributions to the Court Reporters Board.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Manayan. With that, if Ms. Bruning, if you could take the vote, please.
We have to see public comment on the motion first.
Oops.
Oops. Okay. Public comment in the room, seeing none. Public comment on WebEx.
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this motion, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Okay, thank you, moderator. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you call the vote?
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenam,
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Saltonstall.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Tagade.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And now, moderator, if you could recognize Ms. Sunkeys.
All right, this is the moderator. Ms. Sunkeys, you should be able to unmute yourself. And this is the moderator. Ms. Sunkeys, it appears you're still muted. Let me see if I can try requesting to unmute you.
You hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Wow, I have a new computer. The good news is I got on WebEx very quickly this time. The bad news is I could not unmute myself. I apologize. I first want to say thank you so much for the kind words and the resolution. Everyone's comments brought tears to my eyes, and I wasn't expecting that. I want to thank this board because it was a fabulous board to work with. I'm so glad to have walked hand in hand with Laura Brewer during my time on the board, and Ms. Fenner, Yvonne, my friend. So glad to have done this with you. Thank you so much. I can't believe how much time we got to spend together, and what a way to kind of finish up. Sorry, Michelle, but this is closing a chapter for me, and I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to work on the board during this time. When we go, and I'll just say very quickly, that I think that there's been very exciting times lately. Well, the last few years for the profession. I think back up a few years, we really found ourselves at a crossroads, and I think the board did a lot of good, diligent work to move the profession forward and to ensure its continued success into the future. So I'm so glad to have been part of that. Again, thank you for the kind words and the resolution, and very heartfelt. Thanks.
Thank you. With that, thank you, Robin, again. We will now offer the following resolution for outgoing board member Laura Brewer. Whereas Laura Brewer has faithfully and devotedly served as a member of the Court Reporter Board from November 18, 2021 through July 2nd, 2025, and whereas she served as co-chair of the Best Practice Pointers Task Force, and whereas she was integral, in developing the 2024 to 2028 board strategic plan, provided direction on reaching the board's goals, and contributed significantly to the skills examination bank. And whereas Laura Brewer has more than 40 years of professional experience as a certified shorthand reporter, having served the community as a freelance reporter, conference reporter, and CART captioner. And whereas she has served in many leadership and supportive roles in industry associations, including the Deposition Reporters Association of California, Interstano, and the National Court Reporters Association, and was awarded their distinction of Fellow of the Academy of Professional Reporters. And whereas throughout her years of service, at all times, Laura Brewer gave fully of herself and her ideas and acted forthrightly and conscientiously, always with the public interest and welfare in mind. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of the Court Reporters Board express heartfelt appreciation to Laura Brewer for the outstanding contribution she made during her years of service on the Court Reporters Board and to the consumers of California. With that, I will take a motion from the board to accept this resolution, adopt this resolution, excuse me. Mr. Dodgenham.
I move that in recognition of Laura Brewer's years of dedicated service to the Court Reporters Board, we accept this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Manayan. With that, we will take public comment on the resolution. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. We'll take board comment first. Yes, Mr. Dodgenham.
I would like to, again, just as with Robin, Laura was incredibly welcoming to me and helped set a standard of example when I joined the board. She's a humble leader who leads by example. She's spent countless hours behind the scenes working on best practices and regulations that have made the profession better for court reporters and for the people of California. And also on a personal note, she has always been warm and welcoming, always with kind words, even with her out-of-the-way car ride pickups and funny jokes. She will be sorely missed. Thank you, Laura.
I'd like to say a few words too. Laura, my friend, you will be sorely missed, but I think when you say perfection, excellence, and never expecting anything less of yourself, you're the first person that comes to mind. We'll sorely miss your meticulous review of our minutes. Hopefully one of us can or cannot take on that task, but you're truly a gem, and hopefully you won't be too much of a stranger, and we'll get your visits once in a while, but you'll be truly missed, and thank you for all your service to the community.
Yes, I'd like to take the privilege to share, Laura. You know, we would joke every time you would raise your hand during meeting minutes or, you know, looking at the strategic plan, but you could see how much work that you put into this board with every single post-it note on your in your binder packet, on the different task force notes. Just incredible work, and at the same time, such a joy to work with. And we will, you know, I'll echo the sentiment that we will miss you dearly. We hope that you'll stay in touch as well and stay involved. But yeah, we have big shoes to fill in the copy editing department. So thank you. Ms. Renner.
I would just like to add that I came to know the name Laura Brewer as a young reporter, acting as the president of the Sacramento Court Reporters Association. I could hardly believe it when this icon of the industry agreed to be a guest speaker for our little association. I was so impressed with not only her amazing knowledge of reporting, but her grace and her charm. She warmly shared what she knew with our group. It has truly been an honor to serve as her EO all of these years later. We were so very lucky to have you share your experience and expertise with this board, Laura. The consumers of California have benefited greatly through the dedication to excellence that you bring to every task that you take on. Your legacy not only includes the very valuable best practice pointers, but also the yeoman's share of the new skills test writing. It has been such an honor working with you, and I wish you the very best in this next phase of your life adventure.
Thank you.
Cindy Tichelle, California Court Reporters Association. We support the resolution and echo the comments of the board members. And we thank Laura Brewer for her years of service to our industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment in the room?
Cindy Vega, President, Deposition Reporters Association of California. I would also echo everyone's comments and sentiment for Laura Brewer. She is an amazing person, and the CSR board was very, you were good to have her on your board. It was a great experience. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Any public comment on WebEx, and we will request that we recognize Ms. Brewer following the board vote.
All right, this is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. First, I have Michelle Caldwell, and Michelle, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak with a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Thank you, Michelle Caldwell, President, California Court Reporters Association. Laura, thank you sincerely for your years of service to the board, and on behalf of CCRA, it has been a pleasure working with you. Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Next, I have Anna Costa, and Anna, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak with a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Thank you. This is Anna Costa, West Valley instructor. And Laura, I want to add, as I said in my previous comment, it was a pleasure to be a part of the Best Practice Pointers Task Force with you. I agree with Mr. Manayan and Ms. Tagati in their appreciation of your meticulous, mind-blowing wordsmithing during board meetings and the Best Practice Pointers meetings. And Yvonne, I am so sorry I forgot to include you in my previous comment as a crucial, invaluable presence and providing clarification during those meetings. Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Appears there are no further requests for public comment at this time.
Wonderful, thank you. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you call the vote, please?
Yes, thank you, Member Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, Member Tagati.
Aye.
Thank you, motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Bruning. And again, a hearty thank you to our outgoing board members. With that, oh, I'm sorry. Moderator, if you would recognize Ms. Brewer to speak.
This is the moderator, and Ms. Brewer, you should be able to unmute yourself.
All right, you thought you were rid of me. Didn't think you were this nitpicking voice again. No, I had my hand raised earlier, and it was because I wanted to contribute to the thanks to Robin. I concur with Robin's sentiment that I am so happy to have served alongside her as well as my other fellow board members. It has been an honor and a privilege and a true growth experience. I have mentioned to Yvonne before that I've been going through a career's worth of papers and culling things, and I've found old goal sheets, and one of my goals was to serve on the Court Reporters Board. So I thank all of you and the governor and the legislature as well for this opportunity, which has been a wonderful opportunity that has allowed me the privilege of working with all of you and doing something for our profession. I want to also thank staff. All of the staff of the board work incredibly hard under the leadership of Yvonne, and Yvonne has been incredible. She also planted this little seed in my mind. I remember I would serve on some of the subject matter expert workshops, as so many of our licensees do. And Yvonne would try to come and join us for lunch frequently. And she mentioned to me, gee, it would really be nice if you keep in mind the opportunity to serve on the board at some point. Anyway, I thank you all for that. And and truly, my fellow board members, starting with Davina Hurt, who went out shortly after I came on the board, but Robin, Denise, Artine, Mike, really a pleasure working with all of you. So dedicated, so smart, so sharp, so involved. I can't thank you enough, and to all of the staff and to all of the people who've participated, and our licensees. Please keep working hard out there. I'm done. So thank you all so much.
Okay. Thank you so much again to our outgoing board members. We really can't sum it up all of the words to express how much you've done for us. With that, we will move to agenda item 4, approval of the meeting minutes for the May 9th, 2025 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from our board members? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adopt the meeting minutes? Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Manayan. We will take public comment and then move to our vote. Public comment in the room, seeing none. Do we have any public comment on WebEx? And this is on agenda item number 4, the meeting minutes from the May 9th, 2025 meeting.
All right, this is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Excellent, thank you, moderator. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you take the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Member Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. And Member Tagade.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Bruning. With that, we will move to agenda item 5, Department of Consumer Affairs update. I would like to welcome Mr. Arthur Babakanyan to provide the update from the Department of Consumer Affairs Board and Bureau Relations. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arthur Babakanyan at the California Department of Consumer Affairs. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today. I have a few announcements to make, starting off with the new Board and Bureau Relations team. So we are very excited to announce that the Governor Newsom appointed 2 new members to the department's executive team. Lucy Saldivar has been appointed as the Board and Bureau Relations Deputy Director and will join the department on October 20th. Lucy has served as Chief of Staff in the Office of Assembly Member Lisa Calderon since 2022 and Legislative Director from 2021 to 2022. She also held multiple roles in the Office of Assembly Member Jackie Irwin from 2017 to 2021. Lucy is a member of the Hope Leadership Institute and the California Latino Capital Association Foundation. Also, Shelley Jones began serving as the new Assistant Deputy Director of Board and Bureau Relations on September 25th. Shelley brings 29 years of experience working with boards and gubernatorial appointees. She has been with the department since 2015, serving in several capacities with Board and Bureau Relations, as well as DCA Strategic Organizational Leadership and Individual Development and Organizational Improvement Office. Prior to joining DCA, she served in multiple roles as the Juvenile Parole Board of the California Department of Corrections. We are very excited to have our new BBR team in place to serve and assist our boards and bureaus. Moving on, board member orientation is next week. As you may remember, board member orientation, or BMOT, must be completed within 1 year of appointment and reappointment to the board. Our next session will be held on October 22nd. We are working to schedule the 2026 training dates. Board members can register for BMOT using DCA's Learning Management System, or LMS. Please reach out to Board and Bureau Relations with any questions or if assistance is needed in accessing the training in LMS. Moving on to annual reports. The annual report is one of DCA's biggest projects. Staff work on this report throughout the year, gathering information and statistical data in order to compile a comprehensive report about the department's actions to submit to the legislature. On behalf of the director, thank you to board staff for your efforts and contributions. Published to the DCA website late this summer, the annual report has a wealth of information and memorializes all the great work done by so many throughout the department. DCA encourages board members to take time to review it and use it as a resource. And lastly, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and a time the department works to raise awareness about digital security and staying safe online. As our lives and business operations become more digital, the opportunities for cyber criminals increase. Threats like phishing, ransomware, and identity theft are no longer rare or isolated events. They're daily risks that DCA works hard to mitigate. This Cybersecurity Awareness Month, DCA is reminding all boards and bureaus to think before you click. One click can have a big consequence. So I would like to share 4 quick tips to help you stay safe. So one is think before you click. Don't open links or attachments from unknown sources. 2, update regularly. Keep software and devices updated to patch known vulnerabilities. DCA-owned devices, there's no need to worry. DCA Office of Information Security handles those updates for you automatically to ensure your system is secure. 3rd, use strong passwords. The stronger the password, the harder it is to crack and the safer your data remains. And 4th, back it up. So regularly back up your data to a secure location in case of attacks or loss. For DCA-owned devices, there's no need to take action. DCA's Office of Information Services automatically manages backups to keep your data safe and recoverable. And just please remember, cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. Should you encounter suspicious emails or other activities, please report it immediately to your executive officer. Your actions helps us to take swift actions to protect everyone. If you have any questions, please contact Board and Bureau Relations. And that will be it. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today. Please let me know if you have any questions or assistance.
Thank you, Mr. Babakanian. Do we have any questions or comments from our board members? Seeing none, we will look to public comment in the room. Also seeing none here, any public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio-only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. And as a reminder, this is for agenda item 5. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, moderator. With that, we will look to a 15-minute break in order to, take care of whatever you need. So we will come back at 12:25. Okay, we will call this meeting of the Court Reporters Board back to order. Ms. Bruning, if you would take the roll, please.
Thank you, Member Tagate.
Here.
Thank you, Member Dodgenham.
Here.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez. Here. Thank you, Member Manayan.
Here.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, quorum reached.
Thank you, Ms. Bruning. With that, we will continue through our agenda with item number 6, which is the report of our executive officer. I will turn it over to you, Ms. Fenner.
Thank you, Chair Tugade. I will start off my report with the review of the budget. On page 28 of the board meeting materials is the expenditure projections for fiscal month 13. So basically the final for fiscal year 24-25. You can see we were very, very close to break even. We reverted 0.18 back to our fund this year. Does anyone have any questions on the expenditure projection report? None. We have a corrected CRB fund condition report, which you should have received earlier this week, and it is being posted to our website. But you can see it as a slide for the people that are joining us remotely. The updated fund condition shows no, excuse me, no transfer to the TRF this year, as we're using up the last of the grant from the general fund that we received a few years ago. You'll see beginning in budget year 26-27 and moving forward, we are projecting transfers of $150,000 per year. We will have to watch this closely as the TRF remains a popular and essential program for qualified indigent litigants. We are authorized to transfer $300,000 per year, but we haven't needed to expend that in claims for quite a while. Also, by budget year 28-29, we see that our months in reserve is projected at 6.6 months. As you all know, it's if the operating reserve falls below 6 months, we may not transfer into the TRF. So that means we're going to be closely watching revenue from the new licensees as well as the ongoing expenditures. Are there any questions on the fund condition? Seeing none, I'll ask Ms. Bruning to update you on the transcript reimbursement fund.
Thank you, Ms. Finner.
Ms. Bruning, I'll just continue and give you a minute to do that, and then we can come back to that. Moving on to the enforcement statistics, you can see the final report for fiscal year 24-25 on pages 31 through 35. Following on pages 36 through 40, you'll find the statistics for July 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2025. I spoke with our enforcement analyst. We have no new trends to report to the board as far as the number or the types of complaints that are being received. Are there any questions on the enforcement statistics? Seeing none, the results for our license exam begin on page 41 of the board agenda packet with the comparison of the steno and voice writer skills portion of the exam, followed by the historical results of the overall skills exam. On page 42, you can see that we had 113 applications for the skills test, 66 of which were first-timers. The next skills exam will be available November 1st through the 22nd, coming right up. So we have the total number of applications received for that skills exam of 108. And just continuing to report in, as of October 14th, we had a total of 332 voice writers including 28 that are certified in both methods, steno and voice. We have issued 144 licenses via the reciprocity with the NVRA, their CVR exam, and we have 169 firms that have an active registration. Are there any questions specific to the skills exam? Seeing none, the results for the two written portions of the exam, English and Professional Practice, appear on pages 44 through 47. Are there any questions on the written portions? And Paula, you're set to go? Go for it.
Thank you for your patience. So reporting for the pro bono program, for this fiscal year, we have paid out over $20,000. We still have, of course, many pending applications coming in for both programs, but the most popular program is for the pro per litigants. For this fiscal year, we have paid out $25,800. We have also provisionally approved approximately $78,000 for 24-25, so closing that out. To date for 25-26, we have provisionally approved over $30,000. We are working with litigants calling each day, asking questions about the program, responding to not just the phone calls, but the emails. Again, very, very popular. I also noted something significant on the statistics is that since the inception of the allowance for pro per litigants to apply, we have paid out over $400,000 since 2011 for pro per litigants assistance. I'd be happy to answer any questions from the board. Thank you.
I would just like to thank Ms. Bruning and Ms. Green for all of the hard work that you guys do on processing the claims for the transcript reimbursement fund. The next item I'd like to sorry.
Chairman, may I make a point about the, thank you. I'd just like to make an observation and comment, not specifically about the skills or the English test, but about the testing overall, if that's appropriate. I just want to recognize the phenomenal growth in both the number of applicants and the pass rates. I think as a board, we came in, and if we look 5 years ago, we had pass rates of, we were passing somewhere in the high teens and low 20s of number of people that were passing. And with the changes we made, including the voice recording, but also more broadly in overall awareness and drive, we now see numbers in the 60s, 70s, and even hitting the hundreds. So really exciting to see this great growth and phenomenal progress. So just want to recognize. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item that I'd like to update the board on is the California Supreme Court case called Family Violence Appellate Project versus Superior Courts of California. Case number is SXM 288176, if anybody would like to track it themselves. To remind the board, the case presents the following issue. Does the prohibition on electronic recording of certain proceedings in Government Code Section 69957, Subdivision A, violate the California Constitution when an official court reporter is unavailable and a litigant cannot afford to pay for a private court reporter? I reported at our last meeting that the Supreme Court had ordered the respondents and the legislature to show cause why the relief sought in the petition should not be granted. In essence, respondents must, and the legislature can, issue a response as to why the relief sought by the plaintiffs, essentially a massive expansion of electronic recording proceedings, why that's at odds with longstanding law, why that should not be granted by the Supreme Court. So there have been several briefs filed. There's been no decision as yet. We will continue to follow the case as it will have lasting effects for California litigants. And if there are no other questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Ms. Fenner. Do we have any additional comments from the board or questions? Okay, seeing none, do we have any public comment in the room? Seeing none, do we have any public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, moderator. With that, Ms. Fenner, we'll turn it back over to you again for agenda item number 7 on legislation.
So on page 48 of the board meeting materials, you'll find the list of bills we followed this last legislative session and their outcomes. Just going to point out a couple. The governor signed AB 711 by Assemblymember Chen, and that was a bill that the board supported and requires notice to other parties if one side is hiring a court reporter. Hopefully, this will help with the issue of multiple reporters showing up for the same proceeding and prevent a wasted drain of court reporting resources. The board also supported SB 470 by Senator Laird, which extended the current Bagley-Keene Open Meeting Act requirements to January 1 of 2030. And finally, we have SB 861 by Senator Ashby, Chair of the Senate Business Professions and Economic Development Committee, which is the committee's omnibus bill. This year, the Court Reporters Board does have a provision in it, in that bill. As you recall, last year the legislature changed the passing percentage for the skills exam from 97.5 to 95% accuracy. The provision in the omnibus bill would make the same change for the school qualifiers. The bill was enrolled on September 18th, and we're hopeful for a signature from the governor. Since publishing the agenda, an article was published on October 10th in the Center Square, saying that Assemblymember Tom Lackey is pursuing Bill 1189. The legislation would create a certification process for digital court reporters and legal transcriptionists who produce transcripts from the reporter's digital audio recordings. We can discuss this, but we can take no action on it as it's not on the agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner.
I would be inclined to leave the discussion till we actually see the bill language.
Agreed. Thank you.
And then that would be the new legislative proposals. I think those are for you.
Okay. With that, we will move to discussion of the attached legislative language included in your packets.
So just for the board's edification, we as a board, or you as a board, I should say, voted to accept the reciprocity with the RPR skill for the skills portion. And I was unable to find an author for that. And so the legislative language that begins on page 52 is what we're proposing to go out to the legislature with to find an author.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner. With that, do we have any discussion on the board? I know this is a conversation that we have had already. Seeing none from the board, can I get a motion to move forward with this language, please?
Sure, all motion.
Thank you, Mr. Manayan.
I move to approve the next legislative session, proposed legislative language, changing the license skills exam format from 4 voice at 200 words per minute for 15 minutes to the universal format of 3 5-minute tests consisting of literacy material at 180 words per minute, jury charge material at 200 words per minute, and 2 voice testimony at 225 words per minute.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Manayan. I think you have moved ahead a little
sorry.
bit.
Oh, sorry. So
We're on
7.11.
7.11.1.
I move to approve for the next legislative session, the proposed legislative language establishing reciprocity between the skills portion of the California CSR exam and the RPR skills exam.
Thank you, Mr. Manine. That is in order. Do I have a second? Mr. Dodgenham, thank you. With that, do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none. Oh, yes, please. Yes.
Point one. correct.
Point one. Okay, thank you. Do we have any board discussion before I move for additional public comment? Okay, thank you. Seeing none, and again, seeing none in the room, do we have any public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it does look like we have a couple requests. First, I have Mary E. Pierce, and Mary, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak with a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device. And this is the moderator.
Okay, I think I got it now.
Perfect.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I unplugged I unplugged something. That's on me. I apologize for abusing your time, but Yvonne, I was multitasking. Can you please repeat where you saw that Assemblymember Lackey intends to pursue AB 1189? I believe you cited you saw on something.
Ms. Pierce, so sorry, that is not germane to the agenda item we're on right now. And so we will ask for you to follow up with Ms. Fenner at another time.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment related to item 7.11.1? And again, that's the motion to adopt or to approve for the next legislative session, the proposed legislative language included in the packet establishing reciprocity between the skills portion of the California CSR exam and the RPR skills exam.
This is the moderator. I next have Priscilla Gwaltney. And Priscilla, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second. Oh. Priscilla, if you still wanted to speak, could you raise your hand one more time? All right. I don't see another raised hand from Priscilla, so I'm going to guess that she does not have a comment on this item. And in that case, we have no further requests for public comment at this time.
Great, thank you, moderator. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you take the roll call vote?
Yes, thank you, Member Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez. Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, Member Tagade.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Bruning. With that, we will move to item 7.11.2, the skills exam format change. Ms. Fenner?
So this language before you would be what we would be looking for with the author to move this legislation forward. The board has already decided that they would like to make the change, but it does require a legislative change.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner. Do we have a motion from the board? Yes, Mr. Dodgenham.
I move to approve the next for the next legislative session, the proposed legislative language changing the licensed skills exam format from 4 voice at 200 words per minute for 15 minutes to the universal format of 3 5-minute tests consisting of literary material at 180 words per minute, jury charge material at 200 words per minute, and 2 voice testimony at 225 words per minute.
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Manayan. Second. Do we have any board discussion on this item? Again, this is 7.11.2, the skills exam format change. And I know this is a conversation the board has had previously. Seeing no board discussion, we will move to public comment in the room.
Hi, Cindy Tischel, California Court Reporters Association. I have an inquiry. Have we heard from the schools about how long a change like this might take? And do we have an idea of if it's years or are we getting input? And do we need to do it in phases over the years?
Thank you. Would you like me to address that? Why don't we address any questions at the end? Any other public comment in the room? Seeing none, public comment on WebEx.
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon. Or if you're an audio-only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. And I do have a request from Michelle Caldwell. Michelle, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Thank you. Michelle Caldwell, California Court Reporters Association. I do think it's important that, or it's going to be important that we involve the schools in these discussions, and whether the testing change is phased in over a period of years, or like was discussed at the last board meeting, where maybe students have an option of taking the exam the old way and the new way, if you will, if it becomes law, et cetera. So I think those will be important considerations moving forward, and I just wanted to put those out there. Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Appears there are no further requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, moderator. Ms. Fenner, we'll turn it to you.
So definitely the schools are going to be impacted by this, and it would not be a change that would be happening overnight. I think it depends on when the legislation is actually passed. It would have to be passed before the schools could actually make any curriculum changes. And depending upon where that happens in their school year, it may take easily 2 years for them to make those curriculum changes. And those are not easy changes. They take some time, and we're going to have to be working with them the entire time. As a workaround with that, I have proposed that we offer both types of the test once we have the authorization for from the legislature to make that change. If a student has been preparing their whole academic career for the 4-voice, we have 4-voice tests available. There's no reason that we can't use them to test. However, if somebody else has been focusing on the universal format and they want to take the California test in that same format, we will have those available to offer. So I don't know if it's a workaround or just an accommodation to recognize that students and schools will need time to make that transition.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner, for that clarification. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you take the roll call vote?
Thank you, Member Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez. Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, Member Tagade.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Bruning. We will move forward then to our next agenda item 8. And we will turn that over to our regulations attorney, Stephen Vaughn, who will update us on the status of the disciplinary guidelines regulation package.
This regulation section concerns disciplinary and denial guidelines, which set forth recommended discipline for violations of the board statutes and regulations. It was last updated through the Office of Administrative Law in 1989. In May 2025, the board voted to approve updates, but since then, board staff, regulations manager Betsy Figuera, and legal have re-reviewed and found that it needed substantive updates, such as including clarifications in the actual text of the California Code of Regulations and on the incorporated document itself, consistency update that's suggested by previous board member Brewer. We're also suggesting the following amendment to the document itself today, directing you to page 3, the blue page number on the bottom right of the PDFs, a footnote notation after the first use of the word recent, stating, for the purposes of these guidelines, recent means within 60 calendar days, preferably within 30 calendar days. And another amendment on pages 21 through 22 regarding optional condition 8, proof of advertising, correction. Respondent shall not practice until proof of correction, for example, a screenshot of website or print copy has been submitted to the board or its designee by mail, email, or in person, and the board or its designee has notified respondent in writing that they may resume practice. And the proposed addition would be in underline, in writing by mail or email within 30 calendar days after the date of respondent submission of proof. The rest of the edits are highlighted in the meeting materials. Staff recommends the board review and approve the draft regulatory language and to proceed with the rulemaking process. So I'll read a proposed motion and any board member has the option to say so moved. I move that the board rescind its previous May 9th, 2025 motion and approve the changes to California Code of Regulations, CCR, section 2472 and the newly proposed regulatory text of the disciplinary and denial guidelines publication with amendments to add on the guidelines publication on page 3 after the word recent, a footnote, for the purposes of these guidelines, recent means within 60 calendar days, preferably within 30 calendar days. And on pages 21 through 22 regarding optional condition 8, the addition after the last sentence of in writing by mail or email within 30 calendar days after the date of the respondent submission of proof. And to direct staff to submit all approved text to the Director of the Department of Consumer Affairs and the Business Consumer Services and Housing Agency for review. If no adverse comments are received, authorize the executive officer to take all steps necessary to initiate the rulemaking process, make any non-substantive changes to the package, and set the matter for hearing if requested. If no adverse comments are received during the 45-day comment period and no hearing is requested, authorize the executive officer to take all steps necessary to complete the rulemaking process and adopt the proposed regulations for CCR section 2472 as noticed and amended, with the authority to make any technical or non-substantive changes.
Thank you, Mr. Vaughn. Do I have a motion from the board to adopt the suggested motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. Do we have a second? Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. With that, we will turn to public comment in the room. Seeing none, do we have public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio-only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and this is the moderator. Appears there are no requests on WebEx at this time.
Thank you, moderator. Ms. Bruning, would you, yes, do we have a public comment on agenda item 8? Thank you. Oh, sure.
Cindy Vega, California Deposition Reporters Association President. I had a question for Mr. Bong. Was the I don't know, what is it? The update that you're doing from, I think you said May 2025, was the last update in 1989? Did I hear that correctly?
The last version approved by the Office of Administrative Law, correct?
Approved. Okay. All right. I just wanted to get. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, seeing no further public comment, Ms. Bruning, if you would take the roll call vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez. Aye. Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, Member Tagare.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Burning. We will move right along to agenda item 9, court reporting and captioning week, February 7th to 14th, 2026. Ms. Fenner, would you give us some background?
Staff has been approached by a representative of the Deposition Reporters Association to enlist our help in asking the governor's office to proclaim February 7 through 14, 2026 as Court Reporting and Captioning Week. Staff is working with our legislative analyst to work out the details of the process for that request. The item is before you to discuss and instruct staff whether or not to move forward with the request.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner. Do we have a motion from the board or any discussion prior?
If you have consensus, you can direct me as the
Oh, excellent. Okay. If seeing no discussion, it looks like we do have consensus. So we will direct you to move forward, Ms. Fenner. Thank you. Okay. Let's move then to agenda item 10, our new board logo. And we will turn it over to Mr. Dodge Nam, who has been spearheading this effort.
Thank you, Chair Tagada and fellow board members. As you know, our current Court Reporters Board logo has served us well for many years, but it is outdated. The image features a stenography machine, which historically represented the profession. However, today, California certifies reporters who work in multiple modalities: voice reporters, digital reporters, and traditional stenographers, and our logo no longer reflects that inclusivity. Early this year, we formed a logo committee and partnered with the Department of Consumer Affairs, Office of Publications, Design and Editing to modernize our look. I'd like to thank Paula Bruning and the talented design team at DCA for guiding us through an incredibly thoughtful and professional process. We began by defining clear objectives. We wanted a design that was, one, inclusive, representing all current and future methods of court reporting, not just one tool or technology. 2, modern and timeless, something that would stay relevant as new technologies emerge. 3, authoritative yet approachable, reflecting both our partnership with the courts and our public service mission. And 4, consistent, using our familiar California blue palette to maintain continuity with our existing identity and alignment with other DCA boards. So rather than depicting a specific device, we focused on symbols of our purpose, our connection to the courts, the legislature, and the accurate record of spoken word. We continue to leverage our brand equity built into our initials CRB. The DCA design team presented multiple directions, and we centered on 3 that meet these goals in different ways. And I want to highlight each of these is quite unique and different, yet each one fits the broader DCA visual family. I encourage you all to look at the DCA website to see the truly broad range of logos for different agencies. So while all of these look very unique and different, they all will very much fit in with what our other state agencies look like. Let me briefly discuss them. Option A is a form of word art that shows the steps of the courthouse and incorporates our recognizing our power in our initial CRB, but the courthouse recognizes our partnership with the courts. And again, the name capitalization is highly represented here. In option B, we get the California Shield, a more traditional emblem that maintains a sense of history and authority, incorporating judicial elements as well. And finally, option C, another form of modern word art with pillars that both represent our partnership with the judiciary as well as our genesis and mission from the state legislature, once again leveraging the power of our initials. As I mentioned, each of these designs fits with the broader DCA visual family, yet gives the Court Reporters Board its own distinctive identity. They all express who we are today, an organization that honors its tradition but looks forward. I am proud of the collaborative process that brought us here and look forward to hearing your thoughts. After discussion, we'll take a vote to select one of these 3. or, if necessary, provide direction for refinement so that our final logo fully represents all California court reporters and the public we serve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dodgenham, for your presentation and for all your work on this. With that, do we have any board discussion on the different logo options? Yes, Ms. Gonzalez.
One minor, in talking about it, you were saying that we represent voice writers and.
I did, I said that.
Yeah.
That part about the digital.
Thank you, because they're not. The looking at the logos, I really like all of them. I particularly like the top one because it shows us as being kind of the pillars that hold up the structure of justice. And I appreciate that very much. So that's my vote.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Other comments from the board, Mr. Minay?
Words out of my mouth. I thought I was going to be really unique with that.
Great minds.
No, Mr. Dodgenham, thank you so much for all your efforts in getting us to this point. We really appreciate it. All of them came out beautiful. I think they're all elegant and tastefully done. With that, I really like option 1 because of its simplicity, the minimalist design. It's crisp. You really have the prominence of the court. And again, like my fellow board member said, the CRB letters really resemble the towers and the pillars that hold up the court. So I think my vote would be that. I know we're not voting just yet, but that's my preference. And I think it's timeless too. So it'll evolve whatever this industry evolves to, and the profession. I think this will encapsulate it.
Thank you, Mr. Minay. Any other comments from the board? And I will echo the sentiments about the CRB really being the pillars of justice. I too thought that was very clever. But I think we can thank Mr. Dodgenham for all the thought he put into this and it coming across clearly. With that, do we have a motion?
All motion, or wait,
yeah,
I agree. I like the pillars of justice, but I like option number 3 because there are 3 pillars of justice, but they are all good options and crisp and clean and represent the board perfectly. So thank you for your work on that.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no further board discussion, I would love a motion to adopt a logo.
I'll move to motion to adopt option number 1.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Minay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Ms. Bruning, before we move forward, we will take public comment in the room first. Seeing none. Oh, yes, please.
Austin McDaniel again. Thank you for the clarification regarding digital reporters. If this board ever licensed digital reporters, then I think a great new logo would be a cliff, because that's where this industry would go if we did that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDaniel. Do we have any public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio-only participant, you can press *3 on your device. All right, this is the moderator, and it appears there are no requests on WebEx at this time.
Excellent. Thank you, moderator. We will close public comment at this point. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you take our roll call vote?
Thank you, Member Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez. Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, Member Tagade.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Bruning, and thank you again to Mr. Dodgenham. Exciting to move forward with this and knock off one more piece on our strategic plan. With
Can I make one more
that,
comment?
yes, Mr. Dodgenham.
I just want to make two comments. First, again, want to really recognize Paula Bruning's hard work on this effort. Couldn't have done it without her. So thank you so much, Paula. And also to our public comments. Yes, sorry for my misspeak or miscommunication. I think my concerns and about the current state of digital recording have been pretty clear. So yeah, definitely did not mean to include that. Sorry for any confusion.
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. I believe we can move forward to agenda item number 10. Oh, excuse me, 11. My apologies. Court reporter workforce development and pipeline. This is an item that we have included as a standing item on our agenda, knowing the incredible importance and important work that needs to happen in this space. Ms. Fenner, do you have anything to report here?
I don't have anything to add to what I had prepared in May, which were all of the initiatives that we have moved forward on.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner. I know a piece, an item that was discussed during our May meeting was looking at solutions in regards to expediting the credentialing or finding a way to remove barriers to credentialing for instructors. I would like to recommend that the board adopt a task force, an ad hoc task force, in order to address this issue, especially now that we have some time before the next legislative session, before some of our additional work comes up. Need a chair. I do need a chair. Do we have any board members interested in taking on this item? Ms. Gonzalez, thank you so much.
Do I need to say anything or just, yes, I'll do that?
If that is the
I have,
sentiment.
for the majority of my time prior to being with the board, I worked to help write the tests. I've worked with DRA to mentor students. I've worked in all aspects of trying to get students licensed and into the field. So I feel this is right up my alley.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Ms. Fenner?
And I would just note the process for creating a task force. The chair has the prerogative to appoint the task force chair. And then typically we ask for anybody interested in serving on that task force to submit their names to either myself, Yvonne Fenner, or to Paula Bruning, but staff at the board. We collect up those names and then we will reach out to you, Ms. Gonzalez, because you do get to select who's going to be on your committee, on your task force. Excuse me.
Thank you. Well, unless there's additional comments or discussion from the board, I'm very happy to appoint Ms. Gonzalez and excited for us to move forward on yet another item off our list. Okay, seeing none. Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Let's move forward to agenda item 12, unproctored skills exam testing. Ms. Fanner, would you present this item?
In January of 2024, the National Court Reporters Association, NCRA, began to administer their online skills exam without the presence of a live proctor. Instead, tests are randomly reviewed for security issues. The board discussed this issue at the July 2024 meeting, ultimately deciding to wait to see if NCRA encountered any issues. This item is brought before the board as it has now been over a year since this change was implemented. Board staff reached out to NCRA staff and was informed that NCRA has experienced no negative issues since the change. I discussed the proposed change with board staff, and while we recognize there are legitimate issues with some candidates' proctor experience, those are currently being dealt with on a case-by-case basis, and they may result in the candidate being granted the ability to retest in the current cycle. Staff expressed concerns about the ability of the board to administer a secure test without a live proctor. Additionally, staff pointed out that the strong and rising exam pass rate really caused them to question the need to change the proctorless environment. For those reasons, staff recommends continuing testing with the presence of live proctors.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner. Do we have any discussion, questions, comments from the board? Yes, Ms. Gonzalez.
I agree with keeping it proctored. I feel that in situations of tremendous stress, people will try and find ways around things. And I understand. I went through the testing. It is not fun, but I feel like it leaves us open to too many possibilities of something being abused in the system.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Any other comments from the board? Mr. Dodgenham?
I echo Board Member Gonzalez's concerns and feedback and thank her for her sharing her experience. I think given that we just don't quite know what might happen, I don't feel like we have enough backup security situations in place to protect the consumers of California. So I propose we also maintain the current setup. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. Any other comments from the board? I will concur with Ms. Gonzalez and Mr. Dodgenham with concerns around just the logistics of ensuring the integrity of our test and agree with that. Do we have, seeing no appetite to change our current process, we will move to public comment, but we will not have a motion unless there is one. Okay. Looking to public comment in the room. Please.
Talk. Cindy Vega, Deposition Report of the Association of California President. I agree with Heather Lynn's comment. One thing I wanted to note, I don't know about NCRA, although I have taken many tests with NCRA. I don't know how their unproctored process works. I think it's very interesting how that could work. I wanted to say NVRA, National Verbatim Reporters Association, they do all their testing for voice writers in person. And there's a reason for that they don't do it online. And I know with the California CSR, it is all online, but I do believe that everyone needs to be proctored. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio-only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. I have a request from Mary Pierce. Mary, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Thank you. And thank you, Heather Lynn Gonzalez, for bravely raising your hand to chair this. I agree you are infinitely qualified to lead this group. I'm aware of the vast amount of experience you have writing tests, proctoring tests, and giving what is probably the most popular seminar for DRA, which is the mock CSR exam. So highly qualified to lead this. I agree. The test should be proctored. I just wanted to share, and I can get further information because I can't cite precise facts, but I can get them to Paula or Heather Lynn or Yvonne as if warranted. I have heard through pipelines, through my roles with DRA, about some proctors who have actually gotten in the way of online test applicants in an already incredibly stressful environment. I would just like that to possibly be addressed going forward to make sure that the vendor that is being used has highly trained, qualified, and helpful instead of harmful proctors engaging in the process. Thank you very much.
All right, this is the moderator. Next, I have Tara Okana. And Tara, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Hi, this is Tara Kanya. I brought this up to you about maybe a year and a half ago, and I appreciate you, the board, bringing this to attention and looking into it. Mary Pierce is right. There's a lot of problems with the proctors, going into people's computers and privacy issues as well that a lot of students who have spoken to me about it are worried about. So I don't know if it's the proctor issue itself or just the company, but if there's another proctor company that you can find that will provide better, I guess, proctor support for the students, that may be another avenue that hopefully you can pursue. But I thank you for taking the time to look over this, and I appreciate your help. So thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Next, I have Anna Costa. And Anna, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak and a 30-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Thank you. I want to echo Mary Pierce's and Tara Okanya's concerns about the live proctors. I have heard many, many issues involving these people. They don't understand court reporting. Tara mentioned one part where they're going in and attempting to delete items on candidates' laptops, including their CAT systems, and also showing up late, an hour, 2 hours late, as Mary said, adding an additional layer of stress on an already stressful experience of taking the state exam that will allow them, allow candidates to work in the state of California. And if they are not able to go forward, then they have to wait an additional 3 months to apply. I want to bring up the case where the state bar filed a lawsuit against ProctorU, which is now apparently was bought by Measure Learning, and involving fraudulent inducement, concealment of facts, false promises, negligent misrepresentation, breach of contract, breach of the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, and asking for a declaratory judgment. So please consider this in the future, that I, as Tara suggested, choosing another proctor vendor to proctor these tests. Thank you.
All right, this is the moderator. Appears there are no further requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, moderator. With that, we will move on to agenda item 13, the strategic plan for 2024 to 2028. Ms. Fenner?
On page 99 of the board meeting materials is the action plan timeline, showing the actions achieved to date toward the strategic plan objectives. Are there any questions? We'll continue to work on it.
Thank you, Ms. Fenner. Oh.
As a new board member, if there is something on here that is specifically interesting to me or something that I feel needs to be worked on, how I can ask you later if it's better to ask later, but is there some method in which to say, hey, this is important?
One way we've been doing that is through the ad hoc task forces. And so if there is an item of interest, now is a great time to bring it up.
Okay.
Or at a future meeting.
A number of the dealing with DEI and those types of things, as well as working with schools and things like that is, as I said, something I'm very, very interested in.
Did you say D?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Usually I'm loud enough. But those two particular things are situations near and dear to my heart. And so I think they're important, and I think part of helping our career grow is to be aware of those things and work with developing those and working within that framework. So
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. And if it's all right, I think maybe we can think through more in the future how to elevate that. But excited that you're already taking the leadership on our first task force going forward. Any other comments or questions on the strategic plan? Seeing none. Any public comment? Seeing none here. Do we have any public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, this is the moderator. Appears there are no requests on WebEx at this time.
Thank you, moderator. We'll move on to agenda item 14, election of officers. At the first meeting of the start of the new fiscal year, the board is required to elect officers for the coming year, specifically chair and vice chair. Do we have any nominations for chair? Mr. Dodgenham.
I would like to nominate Denise Takata to form a second year as chair. She's done a fabulous job this past year, especially guiding us through the sunset legislation process, which is no small feat. Really appreciate all your incredible leadership and like to see you do another year with us.
I'd like to second that.
Thank you, Mr. Manayan, and thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. I will happily accept that nomination. Do we have any other comments from the board? I think I need to turn this over to Miss Bruning, is that right now?
Public comment.
Public comment? Okay, seeing none in the room, do we have public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment on WebEx.
Thank you, moderator. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you take the roll call vote?
Thank you, Member Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez. Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, Member Tagade.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Bruning. With that, we will move to elect or to nominate our vice chairs. I would like to take the privilege to nominate Mr. Dodgenham, who's been serving graciously on so many different leadership positions within the board. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Do we have any board discussion? Okay, seeing none. Comments in the room? Seeing none. Do we have public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a comment on this item, please click that raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, moderator. With that, Ms. Bruning, would you call our roll call vote?
Thank you, Mr. Dodgenham.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Gonzalez.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Manayan.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Saltonstall. Thank you, Member Tagade.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dodgenham. With that, let's move on to agenda item 15, our future meeting dates. Per our usual custom, staff will poll board members offline about their availability for dates. Is there any public comment on this topic? Seeing none, do we have public comment on WebEx?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, moderator. At this point, the board will be going into closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 11126C3 to discuss or act on disciplinary matters, and pursuant to Government Code Section 11126A1 to conduct the annual evaluation of its executive officer. We will return to open session to adjourn the meeting when we've completed closed session. And before we take a comfort break and before we move forward, I just want to thank our staff again for all the hard work today to make this meeting happen down in Southern California. Thank you, Cesar. And it's so important that we, make our way across the state. We represent all of California, and so it's important that we get out of Sacramento and out to all of our court reporters. So thank you again for all that.